Hi guys, it's Nicole. Welcome to another video. Today I wanted to talk to you about my October reading plans. I don't think I'm going to be able to get as much reading done the first half of the month as I would like to. Most of my reading I believe I'm going to do in the second half of the month because October, unfortunately, is exam season for me. So I finish on the 14th and then I am free to read whatever my heart desires. But I do have a stack of books I really want to get to. First of all, I need to talk or bring up Fool's Assassin. It's been in a few videos now. I've been reading this for over a month. I'm basically scared to read this book. Like, everyone else is reading all the spooky, horror, actual scary books. This book scares me. I am really enjoying my time reading this. Like, as much as you can enjoy reading Robin Hobb, who just tortures you by torturing characters, I'm almost 250 pages into this and basically someone died and I just haven't picked it up since because I'm like, oh my god, there we go, that's our first death. I wasn't expecting it to happen that soon. I wasn't expecting to be that emotional about this particular character's death, but here I am and I wasn't ready. So I've been saving this. So in all honesty, I kind of can see myself picking this up after my exam because I just want to read it in one go. I want to read it when I have the emotion to give to this book and the time to be devastated. Like, I don't have time to be devastated at the moment. I'm busy, I've got to study. Robin Hobb, you will suck the life out of me, and we're gonna let her do that just in a couple of weeks time. So yeah, definitely gonna continue reading this, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also grabbed from the library The Body Keeps the Score that came out with, but this is a non-fiction book basically about trauma and how trauma impacts you. I've been interested in this book for a really long time, but I never got it, and then I finally got it out from the library. But I don't actually know if I'm going to get to this one. I'm hoping I will, but like I said, I'm quite busy and non-fiction takes me longer to read typically, and it takes quite a bit of my attention, and I feel like because I'm doing so much study currently, I don't know if I'm going to want to pick this up because I'm definitely going to be reading for fun if I have time to read in the first couple of weeks of October. Hopefully I can get to this. Maybe I might be able to renew it and then I'll be able to read it towards the end of October, but I wanted to put this here because I do really want to read it. So maybe me putting it in this video will manifest me reading it. Fingers crossed that happens. Now I want to continue reading Bleach. This is volume 1. I read this in my 24-hour readathon I did in September, and then I continue reading other chapters and volumes on my iPad, which I plan to continue doing in October. It's actually this perfect spooky season book or manga series. I love this manga series. It was a series I was obsessed with growing up. I watched the anime and I read the manga, and there's a new season being released in October, which has me so excited and is the reason why I decided to reread the manga, and I want to catch up. Like, I want to read it all before the series comes out, but that's not going to happen, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to wait to read the series anyway because I do like to binge watch manga. Like, watching just one 20-minute episode isn't satisfying enough to me. But this is so good. It essentially follows a boy who ends up becoming a Grim Reaper. So at the beginning of the story, he can see ghosts. He's always been able to see ghosts since childhood. And then he encounters a Grim Reaper. And Grim Reapers are obviously responsible for letting souls pass on, but there are also evil souls that are known as hollows that like to devour normal unequal souls. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if that's a word, it's probably not. And they also like to kill humans. So she, after encountering our main character and this evil, hollow soul at the beginning. She kind of loses her powers and he becomes like a substitute Grim Reaper in her place because she can't go back to where she's from. She's from a world known as Soul Society, where all the souls and Soul Reapers live. She can't go back there until she gets her powers. So she's stuck in the human world and she's supposed to be doing jobs. Her jobs are eliminating hollows, but she can't do that without her powers. So our main character, Ichigo, is stepping in her place to do so. And it's about that and so much more. I'm really loving my reread, and like, if you want a manga series to read around spooky season, like, read this series. It is fantastic. I know it can be a little bit intimidating because there are so many volumes. It is quite a long series, but you don't have to commit to the whole thing. Give it a go, see if you like it. If you like it, you can thank me later. It's amazing. Honestly, it's one of my favorites. And also, speaking of manga series I want to continue, there are two others. I really want to continue reading Jujutsu Kaisen. I read volume 1 also in my 24-hour readathon vlog, so I plan to continue probably on my iPad with that one. And I also have Spy Family volume 7 on hold at the library, and I think I'll get it this month because I'm next in line. And also, the next season of Spy Family comes out this month as well. Like, honestly, it's the month of anime and I'm so hyped. Jujutsu Kaisen actually has like kind of a similar premise to Bleach, except we're dealing with more demons, and it's set at a high school where these characters are learning like Jujutsu magic is the form of magic in this world, and like how to eliminate demons. And then Spy Family is the most wholesome anime ever. We essentially follow a spy who has the mission of trying to infiltrate a very private and prestigious school, and to do so he has to make up a fake family. So he adopts a little girl from an orphanage, and he also has a fake marriage with a wife who he does not know is actually an assassin, and the assassin does not know that her now husband is a spy. And it is so fun, it is so wholesome, and it's just got the found family dynamic, which is my favorite trope of all time. So I love that series, and I'm so excited to get my hands on the next volume very soon. Just waiting for the day my library emails me. I also been reorganizing my books, and I came across these old favorites, and I kind of want to reread these if I have the time, and that is Anna Dressed in Blood, book 1, and the sequel, Girl of Nightmares. These were some of my favorite books when I was a teenager. They do follow essentially a ghost hunter from what I remember. It reminded me a little bit of Supernatural, and he ends up meeting this ghost called Anna, and usually he will kind of help ghosts move on. I can't remember how he did that, or if he killed them because they were evil, but he helps them like be removed from this world essentially somehow, and he kind of falls in love with Anna. That's kind of the story. I remember really loving book 1 and feeling like it was a whole completed story, and book 2 I didn't love as much because it just felt like an unnecessary sequel. But I want to give these a go. They were one of the books I was really hesitant to let go of, and I think a reread will help me decide if I should keep these or unhaul them. I can possibly see me keeping like the first book and just unhauling the second one. I don't know, I liked it and I feel attached to this, so we're gonna give it another read and see how I feel afterwards. Next, I also grabbed from my shelves The Mercies. This is a book that is historical fiction and follows witches, I believe. Yes, so it says on the back, it's inspired by the real events of the Vado Storm and the 1621 witch trials. The Mercies is a story about how suspicion can twist its way through the community, and a love that may prove as dangerous as it is powerful. I don't think the characters in here are actual witches. I don't think there's a fantastical element. I think it's more historical reality and like what happened to women back in that time. But I've heard incredible things about this. Apparently the writing's really beautiful. I think it's going to be very atmospheric and probably a little bit like scary as well. Like, even though it's not a witchy novel and it's not a thriller, it's terrifying what happened back then to women who were accused of being witches. So yeah, been meaning to get to this one for a while, and it's starting to warm up and I want to kind of read this while it's still sort of cold. We still have some cold days here in Melbourne, so I think this will be a really nice book to read. Like, it's a really nice winter read, so I want to read it while like the last remains of winter are here. And then I also am planning to read Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. I listened to the audiobook of In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which is by the same author, recently, and I loved that book so much, and I immediately downloaded the only other book my library had. So I'm going to listen to this. I don't know much about it. I don't want to know anything about it going. I just had a quick peek at reviews to see what people were saying and how they were liking it in comparison to her other book that I really liked. And I saw a lot of people say that it also has a really flawed protagonist, which was one of my favorite aspects of the In My Dreams I Hold the Knife book. I really loved how flawed the protagonist was. Like, she's very questionable, but I thought she was a very fascinating character to follow and just kept the story being very addictive. So I'm hoping for similar things from this one. Okay, I'm actually gonna leave it there. I had some other books out that I was thinking of adding to this list, but that seems like plenty, and I'm excited about those. And the other ones, I don't feel like I'm as excited now as I was when I was writing the list to do this video. But please let me know what you're reading in October. Please tell me some good thrillers. I really love thrillers that are written by female authors, that follow female characters, and that are very character-driven stories. So if you have any recommendations based on that, please. But otherwise, if you've made it to the end, please leave a pumpkin emoji in the comments. I've got my little pumpkin earrings on, so we'll do pumpkin emojis. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are loving whatever you're currently reading. I hope you have a wonderful reading month in October, and hopefully I'll see you next time.